Hi guys, my name is George, and this is my very first YouTube video. I already hate that. This is so hard. Why does this have to be so hard? Hey guys, this is George, and this is my very first YouTube video. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to shine some light on COVID-19 and my personal experience with getting COVID-19. I do work in the healthcare industry, and I am a registered nurse, and I've been a nurse for 7 years. Some would say that I'm a glorified pill pusher, but whatever. I'm not here to, in any way, shape, or form, try to tell you that everyone's experience is the same, because we all know that's not true. I'm just giving you my personal experience with COVID-19 and how I am getting through it. So how did I get it? I personally don't know how I got it, but my guess is that I got it at work. My hospital that I am currently employed at is not requiring masks for the patients to wear, as well as not requiring the patient's family/visitors to wear a mask either. Anyway, also our hospital is not requiring mandatory testing, as well as they have been implementing the new 5-day CDC rule, where you don't have to quarantine for 14 or 10 days anymore. If you quarantine for 5 and your symptoms are basically non-existent, then you can come back to work, which is, I basically live in a state where they didn't really take the pandemic as serious as they could have. So I personally don't know I can't pinpoint where I got it, but if I had to put money on it, I would say that I got it at work. When did I know? So on March 28th, I was not feeling myself. Tonight. And I knew something was brewing. Like, I knew something was wrong with me. I was having a little bit of chills, not something to be concerned about. I just thought I was coming off a 3 in a row where I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I was like, you know what? I haven't done a 3 in a row in a while, so I possibly am just tired. I don't know. The 28th was a Monday. So the next day is the 29th, March 29th, and I'm still not feeling good, but in my head, I'm just kind of like, you know what, it might be just a cold, I can get over it, it's not that big of a deal. On March 30th, I woke up and I knew something was wrong because, first of all, I know my body and this felt different. Like, I honestly felt awful that day. I took one of the free government at-home tests. That came positive. And then I proceeded to make a CVS PCR test. I knew that making the PCR test, the results wouldn't come back in in a few hours like a rapid test, but I know that the PCR tests are much more, what are they? What's the word I'm looking for, bitch? I know that the PCR tests are much more reliable, so I wanted to make an appointment with CVS. So in the afternoon, I did get an appointment, so I managed to go take that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Thanks. Fast forward, long story short, it was positive as well. But at this point, I didn't know the results of the PCR test. So I wanted to take another rapid test just to make sure that I was positive. So I called my nurse supervisor and I asked her, she said, if I can find all the supplies, then yeah, that's fine. Like, you can come over and get tested. Hours later, she texted me and I was positive again. So at this point, I just felt like really defeated. And it was a really hard drive to get home. I felt really hard to drive home. I wasn't feeling well. I was having a headache, fatigue and exhaustion. I was just so tired, and I want to say it was muscle aches, but I can't really put a finger on it, but it felt like it was muscle aches. Signs and symptoms. So before we get to my main signs and symptoms, I just want to preface and say that I am fully vaccinated, and I also got my booster. I was actually the first person at my hospital to get the booster, or I'm sorry, to get the Moderna vaccination. And I'm very grateful that I was able to get vaccinated as well as get the booster as fast as I did, because who knows what could have happened if I wasn't vaccinated, you know, like it could have been a whole different end game. And then mostly fatigue was a big one for me. I think that was like the worst thing that happened to me. And when I tell you I was fatigued, I have never been so fatigued in my life. I was exhausted, and I was just so freaking tired. And on paper, I'm a pretty healthy person. Like out of the 7 days, like I work out 4 days a week, and of those 4 days, 2 days I'll do strength with weights, and then the other 2 I'll do like yoga and Pilates, and the last one I would do like running, and I usually run like 6 miles or more. So I'm a pretty healthy person. I don't eat any processed things. Don't eat a lot of red meat. If I want to have steak, that's like maybe once every other week. But I eat a lot of vegetables. I eat really clean, and I stick to fish and tofu for protein. At the height of my 10-day quarantine, which I did not step out of my house for 10 days, and that was one of the hardest things, but I did it because I couldn't live with the guilt knowing that I could have possibly infected somebody. But yeah, so the worst of it was just I experienced loss of appetite, general malaise, exhaustion, and fatigue were the big ones. I still feel that. I still feel exhausted and fatigued. Muscle aches, chills, and coughing. In the morning, I would cough up a lot of like mucus colored gunk. And then during the day, I would have like a dry cough. I still have a dry cough, but it's not anything to be concerned about. Ugh, I'm like burping. It's this Miss Kombucha over here. She's giving us like
it's giving share.
apple cider vinegar vibes, but it's very sweet, and includes 15 extra grams of sugar, but whatever. So anyway, that was most of my signs and symptoms. Everyone's signs and symptoms are going to be different. My cousin got COVID-19, and she lost her taste. She was having diarrhea the last 3 days, fever the first 5 days. So, you know, it's different for everyone. Like I never had a fever, you know? So, and I never had diarrhea. So it's just different for everybody. What got me through it? So I don't take a lot of medications. If anything, I take like over-the-counter vitamins and minerals. I don't really believe in taking medications unless you 100% have to. So that is why I don't. Besides the 2 days where I felt like it was unbearable, I did take 500 milligrams of acetaminophen, and for you non-medical people out there, that is also known as Tylenol. I personally like Advil better. I think it tastes like candy, so I'd rather do Advil if I were to not feel well or if I have a fever. I usually go for the Advil, but the Tylenol was expiring. And I also remember back in the day when COVID was very new that they said that if you want to manage your COVID symptoms, go with the Tylenol first. Don't take Advil. But I think that's been debunked because the literature is always changing, but I went with the Tylenol. just started using these airborne gummies and also these Sambucus elderberry gummies. I just felt like they gave my immune system an extra boost. I know that the FDA hasn't like approved them for, you know, what they say they do, but I feel like it's, you know, the placebo effect, and if it works for me and it makes me feel that it's working, then it's probably working, so it's fine, whatever. Did a lot of like teas, a lot of loose leaf teas, oolong tea, green tea. That was helpful for me. I don't generally like to have coffee or espresso when I'm not feeling good, so I usually do with my apple cider vinegar drink, which is something that I have in my like home remedy arsenal. Oh, and I also did this thing with hydrogen peroxide where I would put 3 teaspoons of hydrogen peroxide in water, like a glass of water, and I would gargle for, you know, like a few minutes, and that really relieved my sore throat. Like it helped with the coughing for me, and that was just something that really got me through COVID-19. What else got me through it that were not medications was like talking to my boyfriend, talking to my friends, my family. Like humans crave interaction and they'll do anything to get it. And I think that's why social media is so, has become so profound, because humans want to, you know, be connected in any way and in every way. So it was tough, but I really like had to reach out to people just so I didn't go crazy. I did a lot of online shopping too. Honestly, YouTube got me through my time at home. I recently changed all of the TVs into smart TVs. So like there's something about playing your favorite YouTubers on the big screen on your TV that it just hits different, guys. You know, people like Lois Yu. I hope that I'm saying that right. Lois, she is like fucking amazing and she's so adorable. She's so fab. People like Kenzo Martini and World of Extra, like if you need a good laugh, their content's really hilarious. I'm an OG subscriber for like Mark Miller back in the day when he was dating Ethan. Like I loved their channel. I actually met them at Coachella. So when they were still together, but they're not anymore, but rest in peace, Mark and Ethan. But the 2 YouTubers that I like fell in love with during quarantine is Katie Yu and Ika Augustin. Katie Yu, her main channel is about her life and school life, going to Brown University, but her content is just so fresh. She's so charismatic. She's just like such a ball of energy, and I just love watching her YouTube videos. And Aika is another one. Her channel mostly focuses on like her living in Japan, and then which is Tokyo is one of my favorite cities. I can't wait to go back when everything opens. But she has amazing content as well, and I really felt like those 2 were the ones who kind of like pushed me to upload this video, because, you know, I think posting your first video is kind of like nerve-wracking. When I got this second rapid test back and it was positive, like I honestly felt just like defeated. You know, I was crushed. Like at this point, I was super careful. I like kept up with my hand hygiene. I got vaxxed, I got boosted, you know, social distancing. I didn't go out unless I had to. Like if I needed to go to the mall or needed to go to Costco or supermarket, like I would make sure that I would time it very early in the morning or very late at night before they would close. And going to the gym and working out, like I was still wearing a mask. I just felt like defeated. Like I didn't want to be another statistic. Like I have a personal relationship with COVID-19. My mom and dad passed away from COVID-19, and, you know, they were nurses, and, you know, they were in the thick of it. And that was before there was a vaccine. So it's like, I really didn't want to be one of those people who got it. But, you know, it just shows that COVID-19 will latch on to anyone, and it doesn't care about your socioeconomic background, your race, your religion, you know, your sexual orientation, your political views. It doesn't matter. Like, it'll latch on to everyone, and, you know, you just got to do your part. And that's my personal story with COVID-19. I hope that the worst is behind me. I don't feel 100% better, but I'm getting there. But just know that, like, you can get through it. There's a lot of people who did get through COVID-19. We don't know what the lasting effects are or the long-term effects, but, you know, people have beat it and are still alive today. But, you know, at the same token, there are people that aren't alive, and they're not here with us anymore, which is unfortunate. But, you know, you can get through it, and don't feel, you know, don't ever feel like ashamed or abashed or angry. Do you like that alliteration there? Thanks, Mom and Dad, for SAT prep classes. I knew that they would come in handy.
I think school's more important.
You're straight A's, aren't you?
Yeah, no B's. That's why we're Asian, not Asian.
Never feel, you know, ashamed, abashed, or angry, because you got it, you know, because it could happen to anybody. And you just have to just know that if you're, you know, fully vaccinated, fully boosted, you took your precautions, you know, you kept up with your hygiene, you social distance, and you still got it, you know, it just happened. And it's unfortunate, but if you weren't vaxxed or boosted and you don't wash your hands and you didn't social distance and you don't really care and you got it, then, you know, I don't really know what to say about that.
And
yeah. Well, if you stayed till the end of this video, I just want to say thank you, and comment down below on your experience if you had COVID or not. Don't forget to also like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I just wanted to post this video about COVID-19 because I felt like a lot of people want to know about people's experiences, and they want any help that they can get. And hopefully if I could help one person with this video, then, you know, I'm happy. That's all I have to say about that, and I hope you guys have a great day, and maybe I'll see you soon. Bye.